We're about to take a look at the 10 tools that I take out of my tool bag the most because it's got a lot of T's in it and it sounds good. I've got a ton of tools in here, and so I was thinking about it and I was like, man, a lot of the tools I use consistently every single day that I'm getting out in a pinch are the same one. So I wanted to show you guys 10 of my favorite tools that I like to use and that I use so often. Comment down below, let me know what you use the most. Also, I'll link all this up in the description, you guys. I don't make much money off this channel, but the money that I do make comes from these links. So if you're gonna buy something, please click on the link, use the link. That way we can support the channel and I can justify making more videos, making more stuff up for you guys to buy because I love it. And I think that you should love it too because it's useful and it helps. So support the channel, use the links. Let's get to it.
Okay.
This is a no-brainer. This one here is the Knipex pliers wrench. These things are just a fantastic set of pliers wrench, which if you don't know what that means, they've got smooth jaws on them. They are basically the best replacement for a adjustable wrench that I have found. They're way, way better than any adjustable wrench I've ever used. You've got all these teeth in here that will allow you to change the settings. So you can see all of the different settings here. So you get it very close, and the slight movement lets you move the jaw a little bit more open so you can get a tight grip on any nut or bolt that you would like to. They've got this little push button on this side here. So when you press this, this just slides up or down and you can adjust the size. This is the comfort grip. This is the 7.5-inch pair. It does pretty much everything I need it to do. I can even get this on smaller pipe. The fittings, if I don't want to mar them up, I can get this on 3/4 EMT compression couplings, which is nice. So aside from that, obviously nuts and bolts, all the little stuff. If I don't know what size, if it's a size I don't really carry a nut driver for, or if it's something that's just like, I'm not sure what size it is, I grab these. Also, a lot of these, you guys, all 10 things that we're gonna show you today are all set up based on some stuff I did this weekend. It was the stuff that I grabbed. It's not gonna count stuff in my pouch. Those are obviously my most used tools, which is why they constantly stay in my pouch. This right here, we're gonna put this at an easy number 10 because these come out very frequently. Great set of pliers here from Knipex. Get on to some more interesting stuff here. This right here is the stud finder. It is just a small magnetic ball. I always drag it on the side with the rubber on the wall. If my hand is a wall, that's what I would do. And basically it just finds screws, so you can use it when there's metal studs or when there's wood studs, but it helps you just find out, because obviously they've got a screw in the drywall. It also helps if you're trying to take out drywall. I know I do a lot of renovation stuff, a lot of service calls, and so sometimes you have to take drywall down. You want to find the screw in the drywall. It's very useful for that. But this is just a nice little idea. It basically, it just lets you find any type of screw, any type of whatever. It also is a very strong magnet. Like so, I mean, you guys see me pulling. It's got quite a bit of magnet there. So sometimes I attach this to a piece of wire or something. If I drop something in a little crack or crease, I'll attach a wire to this and loop it around and then drop this down there and let the magnet pull it up. You just drag it along the wall. When it stops or when it sticks, you know that there is a screw in there. It's been pretty great so far and it's been extremely useful. So that is number 9, is this little stud finder here. I'll leave a link to this. This is from Racketeers. Love this little thing. Number 8 is this pair of scissors here from Knipex. Yes, it's Knipex, but I've got them in this little sheath here and they just stay on the back of my bag here, just like that. So pull this out, and that way too, if I just need these scissors, I can take them off of the pouch. I don't have to put them in my actual pouch. I can just clip them to my pocket. I can clip them to my belt, to wherever I really need to. So if we pull them out here, so many uses for these. Obviously, stripping low voltage cable is what I mainly got them for, but I always just end up using them for a plethora of things. Great scissors, obviously, that's what they are. So anytime I need to cut up some paper, trim some stuff up, if I need to cut a piece of cardboard, if I need to cut literally anything, I grab these. They're super quick, super easy. I use them to cut the like string that gets stuck in your gloves. I use these legitimately all the time for different things outside of even just wire stripping. Can't go without these. that is number 8. You guys, there's gonna be a lot of Knipex pliers because they've got so many and they are honestly just so fantastic to use. These are their step cutters. This little tiny set of pliers here, they're so small, right? One of the best cutting pliers I've ever used. These little grooves in here make it incredibly easy for you to cut your wire, even like larger wire. Number 6s, number 4s, nothing to put in this and just chomp down. It's got a nice little curve to it, so it fits in your hand nicely. Both are curved this way. And so yeah, it's really great set. If you've never tried these are probably my favorite shears that I have. Love to use these things here. Go ahead and head to number 6, which is something that was a new addition to my bag this weekend. Okay, I did just get these pliers, but I love them. They are so fantastic. They're the twin grip pliers from Knipex. And what makes these so special is this little thing in the front here. So you guys can see it's got the hole in the front, right, for you to put stuff in, but it's got some grips on it. And so basically when you strip screws out, you're able to grab on and twist. It's got a little button here on this side that when you press it down, you can move these over and open them up a little bit more. It's basically a great way to grab stuff from the front. They're also very thin, so nuts and bolts and stuff, obviously, they've got some great teeth. You guys know how wonderful the Cobras are. So yeah, they open up and they've got a bunch of different settings in here. So we close them. They're awesome for grabbing, pulling, twisting, everything you need to do. I really enjoyed using these and I found myself pulling them out a lot more than I thought I would. I'm glad I finally pulled the trigger and got a set of these. This is the comfort grip. I like their red and blue handles. They're comfortable. This is number 5. We'll go ahead and head on to number 4. Number 4 is not an actual tool, so we'll breeze through this one. It's this little piece of wire here, a little piece of solid wire. I'm not always working with solid wire. A lot of times in our commercial facilities, it's stranded. So I do keep a little chunk of this solid wire just for pulling purposes to maneuver stuff, trying to get through. If you guys know anything about retrofitting, it sometimes can just be a mess. And so this is a little chunk of wire that I keep in here. I also keep a strand of Romex in here as well, just in case I need a little bit of extra wire too for pigtails, stuff like that. If I've got too many neutrals, more than that helps for pulleys, helps to fit things through where sometimes it doesn't really want to. So I know this one's a little bit different, but we'll go ahead and move on. This is number 4. We'll head to number 3. Number 3 is in the back here, and it is this guy right here. This is from Wera. It's their Zyklops pocket set, and this is so special for a couple different reasons, all right? It's ratcheting. When you pull this down, you can rotate the head so you can have it straight on. You can have it tilted. You can have it straight up, or you can go the opposite direction at both angles, which is nice, and it locks in. In order to rotate it, you just turn this dial on the back to go from forward to reverse. So what makes this so cool is it's a 3/8 head, square head here, but it's also got a 1/4 inch bit drive, which means that this can be a ratchet stubby, which is phenomenal. I love that. Or it can be a screwdriver if you put a longer blade in there. You can have a 1/4 inch bit holder. You can have whatever you want in there. And it also works for putting sockets on there, 3/8 sockets, which is what I carry in this bag. So that takes up a lot of tools in one. It's also ratcheting. It's also got this cool little back here, which I love the Wera handles, super ergonomic. But if we pull it open here, we've got all these different bits. It's got 6 bits in each row, so that's 12 total, which is fantastic. So you get to carry a lot of different options in there. Holds them all right there, so if you don't know what you need, you can just grab it, and you probably have what you need, because how could you almost not have what you need with this baby here? The ratcheting on it is fantastic, super smooth. I like this thing a lot, and that is why it is my number 3 pick. You guys probably guessed that this one was coming. This is my big Wera chisel driver. This thing is an absolute beast. I forgot this big one here, and I've got a smaller one in the bag as well, but it's got a pass-through shank, which is, obviously you guys can tell, it's gotten a beating. I've had this one for a while. Super strong. I posted a video about this, and I had a bunch of people complaining, saying that they were cheap and that they broke easy, but I've put this thing through, I mean, hell, basically, using it very, very heavily to pry, to chisel, to do everything you can do, and I've had no issues. If you see those online, just know that I have never had an issue with mine. I've probably had this one here for 2 years, and I mean, you guys can see, obviously I've put quite a bit of pressure on it, and it's held up just fine so far. It's got a hex on the shank here, so you can put some extra torque on there. It's a 10 millimeter head. I don't know what that means in American and SAE, but I know that it's big enough for me to beat on. I know that it has withstood the test of time, and really stayed strong for me through a lot of abuse. So love this baby here. These are just a beauty. These are my Knipex Cobalt cutters. They're bolt cutters. They're small bolt cutters. I mean, you cut screws, you cut anything you want with these. They get into tight spots. These things are phenomenal. They're strong. They're monsters. I love these things, and it saves me from destroying my diagonal cutters. It also cuts a lot of stuff that I don't believe my diagonal cutters could actually cut. Definitely enjoy using these quite a bit. Knipex is really, they're just such a quality brand. They make some quality products, and these definitely don't disappoint. I will warn you, you can get some less strong bolt cutters from them. They have different purposes and different intents. I got a pair of flush cutters which were meant for plastic. I thought I was getting these. They weren't. They were not nearly as strong. I found that out the hard way, so don't waste $50, $60, whatever they are. Get the right pair. I'll leave a link to these in the description. So these things will cut anything. And in the back here is my Fluke multimeter. It's my 323. It's an amp meter, and this is just, I mean, obviously in order to troubleshoot, you got to have a meter. You have to be able to ohm stuff out. You got to be able to test voltage, test amperage. You want to test anything that you install after it gets turned on. You want to check your voltage, check your amperage. You know, anytime you have issues, this is the one that I like to use the most. That's because it does both. It does everything you need it to do. It does AC and DC. It does amperage. It does ohms. It's my one-stop shop for anything testing that I need to do, which makes life easy. I don't trust anything other than Fluke. Obviously, this is touching live stuff all the time, so it's something that you want to make sure that you've got a quality brand. Fluke's the best. I feel, you know, just comfortable and safe with it. And I think that's one of the most important things, is feeling safe and comfortable when you're working in an uncomfortable situation with stuff that's on, testing, all that fun stuff. So definitely like this 323. It's been very, very good to me. Try to be very, very good to it, take care of it, make sure nothing happens, make sure it doesn't fall or drop anything dangerous. So love this. Definitely my number one though, because of how important it is to the electrical field. It is like not something I keep in my pouch every waking second, but it's definitely something that if I'm troubleshooting, if I'm finishing up a job, I always am getting this thing out to test. It is my baby, you guys. That'll do it for our top 10 tools, you guys. I love this tool bag as well. So if you guys want to see everything that I carry in this bad boy, this thing is full. Go ahead, head up to this video right up here. But remember, you guys, it's all for His glory, and I'll see you guys on the next one.